Right now, I have quite a few books kind of on the go, and then also that I need to finish sooner rather than later. So I thought it would be a good idea to do like a nice cozy reading vlog dedicated to those particular books. So to start, I am still in the middle of Pride and Prejudice. I am actually almost halfway through now, and this is a reread for me. I read this one every single year, but for some reason it is taking me a little bit longer this year than it has in years past. And it's partially because I've just been kind of enjoying it and mood reading it when I feel like, when I feel like picking it up. But then it's also, I think, because I've had a lot of other books on the go. I definitely need to finish this one. I need to just allow myself to pick this one up and enjoy it for the next week or so. And then I have also been reading this collection of poetry for like the past 2 months, and that is Japanese death poems. So these are poems that were written by like Zen monks and haiku poets who are on the verge of death, which it sounds interesting, and it is actually very interesting. A lot of the poems come with a description of the person who wrote it and how they died and how their poem was written before they died. Some of them it was like they wrote it months before they died and then just was like, yep, this is my death poem. And then others actually kind of came up with it as they were like on the brink of death, which is super interesting. Not something I knew existed until I picked up this collection, but I have been reading this one for a while and I really need to get through it because there's a lot of poetry on my shelf that I'd like to get to. So I definitely need to prioritize reading this one in this vlog. Then I was just also recently sent an ARC called Jane Austen's Garden, a botanical tour of the classic novels by Molly Williams, and I am super, super pumped for this one. I love Jane Austen, love all things gardens and botanicals as well, so I feel like this one is right up my alley and I cannot wait to get to it. I'm thinking there's going to be pictures, so I'm probably actually going to download it to my tablet and read it that way just so I can actually see the pictures in color, because if I have it on my Kobo it's going to be black and white, and I'm not against black and white, but I feel for this I kind of want the colors and the liveliness of the flowers and the gardens and what have you. And then I also just checked out an audiobook from my library and I only have 2 weeks with that. So I really need to get to it. And that is John Stamos? Uncle Jesse from Full House. It's his memoir called If You Would Have Told Me. I'm pretty sure that this one is read by the author, which is always a perk about consuming memoirs as audiobooks because it's really great to be able to hear them in the author's voice. I think it adds a little extra something to it. So I am really looking forward to this one. I definitely don't know much about John Stamos. I'm gonna go with Stamos. Other than when I was a kid and I used to be like super into Full House. I think that's really the only thing I've ever seen him in too. Are you good down there? Are you good? I am currently surrounded by cats, so you got this. Okay, there we go. Oh, come here. So anyway, those are the 4 books that I have on the go right now that I would really like to finish by the end of this vlog, and I definitely think that's doable. I feel like 4 books are doable, especially since they're all kind of different from each other. I have a nice little variety going, so I can kind of mood read within those 4 books. You gonna mood read too? Thinking about it? Fair enough. Mwah. 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 So right now I think I'm kind of in the mood for a little bit of Pride and Prejudice, so I might start there tonight and maybe also pick up some poetry before I go to bed, and hopefully I can finish one of those in the next couple of days. Yesterday, I actually ended up finishing If You Would Have Told Me by John Stamos. And this memoir was pretty good. I definitely feel like he talked a lot more about his career and experiences with acting and friendships with other actors and stuff than about his like personal life. It wasn't like a lot of memoirs by different actors and singers and stuff where it's more about their personal life and less about their career. This felt kind of the opposite at sometimes. Still really good, and if you are a fan of Full House, I definitely think it's a fun read. He talks about Full House quite a bit and some of the actors that he got to work with over the years because of Full House, and also what working on the set of Full House kind of did to his career, the good and the bad. And then I am super close to finishing Pride and Prejudice. I have like hardly anything left. I think like probably 50 pages or so. Yeah, literally like 50 pages left. So I definitely think I can finish this maybe even tonight or tomorrow, because my goal is to finish this by the end of February, and we are almost at the end, so it's kind of crunch time for this one right now. And then shockingly, I have also made a little bit of progress with Japanese death poems. I definitely need to put more time into this one, but I am finally in the actual poetry part, which is really nice. I'm on page 105, and it is pretty good so far. Sometimes the translations are obviously a little off, which, I mean, fair, but some of them are absolutely gorgeous, and the things that people come up with before they die is just beautiful. It's not what I would expect, honestly, but definitely hoping to make a little bit more progress on this one in the next couple of days. But as for right now, I think I am going to read a bit of Pride and Prejudice before I go to bed. Maybe even finish it. I probably won't. Knowing me, I'll end up getting distracted by something and it will still take me a couple more days to read this. But anyway, that is what I'm going to do right now. My boyfriend and I just got home from a walk and it was so beautiful outside, super sunny, and there's a bunch of snow right now. So, yeah, It was definitely a lot of fun, but also very cold. So my nose and my cheeks are still very cold right now, but I thought I would just pop on and do a bit of an update. So I actually did end up finishing Pride and Prejudice last night. Still 5 stars. It's always going to be 5 stars. I love this book so much. And it's just so nice to reread it. It's like going home. And now I have the urge to watch the BBC miniseries, so I'm probably going to do that sometime soon. And then when I woke up this morning, I decided to pick up Japanese death poems, and I actually ended up finishing this one as well. And it is definitely also 5 stars. I really thought some of the haiku in this was just beautiful. For poetry that is so short and simple, it can really pack a punch, and it's gorgeous. And I also really loved that not only did I learn more about like Japanese culture and history in this, I also got to learn about how some of these poets and monks died and how they came up with their poems. And it also kind of explained some of the poems if like some of the references or language in it wasn't exactly clear, which I really appreciated. I sometimes enjoy reading poetry without explanation, but other times I think it's really interesting to kind of delve into it a little bit more. I also marked down a page of just a short little poem that I wanted to read to you because I really loved this one and it really stood out to me. So it's on page 171. And it was written by Gohei. I'm sorry if I'm not saying that right, but it said he died on the second day of the second month, 1808, at the age of 62 or 63. The second month, plum blossoms filling out, I fade away. Just so simple, but gorgeous. I really loved that one. And it's like a melancholy kind of beauty as well. A lot of them are a wonderful collection, honestly. I can definitely see myself picking this one up from time to time and just reading a few poems at a time, probably not all at once again because that was a bit much. It was a lot of death to read about, which is very heavy, especially in the morning when you just wake up. I'm glad that I actually ended up getting through it, and I really, really recommend this one. So then after I finished Japanese death poems, I also decided to start Jane Austen's Garden by Molly Williams because I was still really in the mood for reading, and that's the last book I have left for this video. And I am currently 39% of the way into it. I'm just waiting for it to load so I can tell you exactly what page that is. But while it loads, I will say that it is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I think that when this book comes out, if it's not already out, I am gonna have to go out and buy a copy because I need it for like my Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice collection. And also, I guess like throughout, there's actually like crafts and things that you can do. So there was one recipe for like lavender water, which you can spray in your room, and it's supposed to kind of help you drift off to sleep. Whether or not that's true or not, it's still interesting. I'm sure it smells beautiful. There's like different ways to make bouquets. There was like a how to do a mini garden in your kitchen. It's just a really beautiful, cozy book about Jane Austen and plants, which are two of my favorite things. So love that. I'm on page 62, and like throughout it has like beautiful pictures and details like this, and I really want to hold this in my hands and like touch the paper and stuff, so I think I'm gonna need to add this one to my collection as soon as possible. Anyway, I think I'm gonna sit here for the next however long it takes me to finish this book and finish it because it's so cozy and I really need that kind of coziness in my life right now, but I will talk to you again once I am done. I just finished Jane Austen's Gardens, and I loved this so much. It was so cozy, and I need to own this, like, ASAP. So I think it comes out March 11th, if I'm not mistaken, and it's like $33 Canadian. So I might wait and see, maybe it'll pop up on Book Outlet or something, and I can get kind of a lower price for it, just because like, whew, that's a lot of money for a book I've already read. But if you're into Austen or nature, cozy stuff, DIY, crafting, that sort of thing, this book is definitely for you. It was so nice. I really enjoyed it and definitely the perfect arc for me, so I'm so happy that it came my way. But with that, I think I'm gonna leave this video here because I've finished all of the books that I wanted to finish and I am super happy with that. So on that note, I hope you have a great rest of your week and happy reading.